Jira is one of the most popular issue tracking and project management tools available on the market. Unfortunately, its native reporting can be quite limited, and getting the most power out of the data there is quite difficult. That's where SquaredUp comes in. With SquaredUp, you can connect to your Jira organization and surface the most valuable data with awesome visualizations and monitors. Here you can see one of our out-of-the-box dashboards that you can get started with in only a couple minutes. This shows overview of your organization, including bugs created versus resolved and next releases. To get started with SquaredUp with Jira, we can come into the data source library, search for Jira. I'll add a new Jira instance, which just needs my domain URL, user address, and API token. We can also choose to install out-of-the-box dashboards if we need to, which will give us lots of out-of-the-box dashboards with our own data that we can use to get started with in only a couple minutes. Once you've connected SquaredUp to your Jira organization, this is what you'll see: an overview of the indexed objects, so Jira components, filters, versions, and more, and the available data streams that you can use to make tiles. For example, JQL queries, releases, and work items. You can also choose to install the out-of-the-box dashboards here as well, if you forgot to do it earlier. You can also be selective, so if you don't really care about some work items here, you can turn them off. I've jumped back to the same out-of-the-box dashboard you saw earlier, our powerful organizational overview dashboard. We also have some more provisions, so we can see our key KPIs, scope to projects. As you can see, this gives me a nice overview of the key metrics to do with a particular project. I can jump to our dashboard variable and actually change the project I want to see, which will change the data on the dashboard, meaning I don't have to create a whole new dashboard for my individual projects. The same goes for bugs, so I can get an in-depth look at all my bugs and their current statuses, and releases. If I wanted to see my active releases and my release progress. We also have some filter dashboards, where we can see the stats to do with individual Jira filters that I can also change. This one is mainly around work items, and we can just see the tabular data on this dashboard here. As you can see, we have a very detailed overview of all the raw data. Now let's say I wanted to add some of my own data. I can do that on those out-of-the-box dashboards, or I can make a new dashboard. Let's make a new tile by editing, adding a new tile, and clicking data. I'll choose Jira, and let's say I want to see some work items. I'll click work items. I'll choose my scope so I can filter it down to a particular project, or multiple projects if I prefer. Once the data is loaded, I have a nice tabular format. I can change the parameters here, or I can filter down to status, or I can change the result type, or add some more columns. If I wanted to do some further filtering, let's say I wanted to make a nice visualization based on priority here, I can go to shaping, group, and then group by priority, for example. I now have a count of all the priorities that are associated with my work. Now I have this simple data, I can choose a different visualization. Once I'm happy, I can save it, and it will appear on my dashboard, which I can then use to add some more data. So as you can see, getting started with Jira and SquaredUp couldn't be easier, and it's a great way to unlock the power of all of your Jira data that is previously unused. So give it a go and happy dashboarding.